Hello everyone and welcome back to Clara's Chronicles, where today is boring, so let's get exploring. We are in it for the long haul today, folks. I want to wrap up California's most beautiful woman, and there is just so much to go through. But I've got my coffee ready. I've got some ice cold water. So I'm here to finish this story, and we're going to go through all of these tabs because I want the full picture. Now, if you didn't watch part one, be sure to watch that because it really sets up the scene on how this rivalry began. And before anything, I created this new widget here. Make sure you, I gotta move my video. Wait a minute. I need that full effect right there because I worked hard on that. Make sure you subscribe and like because it really helps the channel and it helps me continue doing what I'm doing. Cool. All right, so let's begin. As I said, I'm going to make my thumbnail super small because we're not focusing on me today. Although I do want to say I'm focusing on natural beauty because that's what beauty was in 1907. And I think it should still continue today. Ladies, be confident in yourself. We don't need anything to make ourselves feel more beautiful because we all are naturally. All right, let me go ahead and make this tiny. Okay, I'm in the corner. So this is where we began last time. This is the first article that I was showing on how this all began. Make sure you watch part one, but we'll go ahead and just move forward. So I'm going to close this out. And now here we are a week later. So I'll go ahead and start. And this is all in the San Francisco Call. So this one is titled, "Whose Face is Her Fortune? Here's Gold for a Face." The Sunday Call's quest for the California beauty brings big results. The Chicago Sunday Tribune, in a prize beauty contest, chose from 6,000 contestants Miss Della Carson as the most beautiful woman of the Windy City. The Chicago Tribune throws down the gauge before all America and holds her up as the most beautiful woman of the land. The Sunday Call has taken up the gauge thrown down by the Chicago Tribune and pledges itself to pick from California's beauties, one more beautiful than Chicago's choice. The Sunday Call has but to choose, but that is no easy task with all California competing. Already, photographs of beautiful California women sent by their friends and admirers are distracting the beauty editor. I love that. In next Sunday's Call will be published photographs from those first received. Now, I'm going to skip this part on the right. Whoops. Let's go back in here. I'm going to skip this part because this just talks more about Della Carson, and we talked about that in the first part. But what I do want to read is this here. So let's see. Let's start on the left side. $475 as rewards for California beauties. That is what the Sunday Call offers. And all beautiful Californians are eligible in the contest. So we talked about the prizes. First prize, $150. That was no joke back in 1907. Second prize, $50. Third, $25. And 25 additional prizes of $10 each. Send a good photo of the most beautiful woman you know at once. Address beauty editor, The Call, San Francisco. Somewhere in California is the most beautiful woman in America. So they're really hyping this up, right? The Sunday Call has set itself the task of finding her, and it takes up its labors with the certainty of success. There are many reasons why California should produce this paragon of beauty, and there is very patent evidence that it has. The beauty of its women is one of the things for which strangers remember the state, and the vision of their beauty lures the wanderer back. There are other places in America famous for their beautiful women, but these are so beautiful that California will have to look to her honors. But the honors are hers if she's but speak up for them. The Sunday Call will use every effort to have it known in the most remote portions of the state that this contest is on, and it remains with those who are so fortunate as to know these beautiful women to send the photographs that they may be published and adjudged. The Chicago Sunday Tribune received 6,000 photographs of young women of that city and finally chose a girl, who, judged from her photograph, is certainly a lovely woman. Chicago's choice is a girl with perfect symmetry of face and figure, probably with gentle feminine ways. One might even surmise that she is desirable as a sister, sweetheart, or wife. She probably has a good heart with high instincts, a lovely American woman. She may even be vivacious and full of fun. But with all these charms, one can go about California. One may merely walk down Van Ness Avenue here in San Francisco and find many more beautiful women than she. Ooh, shots fired. They have all the symmetry of face and figure. The femininity of their ways will be as captivating, and to all outward appearances, they are as desirable as the Chicago girl, as far as can be judged from her photograph. And they have something else that the Chicago girl lacks in company with many of her kind, sweet, gentle women with perfect physical proportions as they are. The women of California come from a race that possesses an imagination. They are the daughters and granddaughters of hardy, adventurous men. Their mothers could ride a cayuse and could stand up and speak for themselves when need be. You know what? For once, I actually want to look this up. What is a cayuse? Oh, a horse. Okay. Oh, it said horse. What kind of horse is a cayuse? North American wild or tame horse. Okay. The blood tingles in their veins and gives a go to their actions. The climate has given them glorious strength, and they feel every minute that they are alive. They can live outdoors the year round, and their minds frame themselves to the grandeur of their surroundings, and the beauty of their minds show in their faces and gives a finishing touch to their loveliness. Then, as if that were not enough to vanquish all comers, they have been given a sense of appearance that is nothing less than genius. They have style. This is the final winning stroke. Wow, we're painted in such a beautiful way, right? Anyone who's from California, I feel so proud now to be from California. This is not a contest for prize beauties. Those who make a profession of good appearance and display their natural charms for an admiring world. These women have their opportunity every day. It is a business with them, so they are barred from the contest. No other restrictions of choice are made, however. No attention will be paid to station in life of the contestants. There is no telling from what class of people the most beautiful woman may spring. Of all the beautiful women in California, the Sunday Call wants as many photographs as possible. So everyone is thinking this is a great opportunity and it is open to everyone. So that when the selection is made and one is proclaimed as the most beautiful woman of America, that she may be above all things the most beautiful woman in California. So I just love the way that they set this up. They are really making everyone so excited, and we are going to see the first few photographs. Now these are portraits of a California beauty by Bushnell. Let me see here. Portrait of a California beauty by Habenight. The 3 photographs of beautiful California women on this page gives the ideas on California beauty of 3 San Francisco photographers. These portraits are given as types and not as contestants, so this is an example of what they're looking for, so to say. The first photos entered in the Sunday Call's Great Beauty Contest will appear in the Sunday magazine next Sunday. Woo. All right, so let's go ahead and view the first set of photographs. So here we go. This is a week later, same article, Sunday Call. First photos of the Sunday Call's beauty contest. Is one of these contestants California's most beautiful woman? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and try and zoom in as much as we can. I think that's all it's letting me. So I won't say contestant number 1, contestant number 2, but here's the group of them. We have Miss Helen Harrison Flory, Los Angeles. Also, something fun I wanted to know because I'm totally into this. I told you guys I'm into paranormal. I'm into like the theory of doppelgangers. If you guys have anyone that you think is like strikingly resembling these women, please give me a name. I'd love to look it up and see because I think that's super interesting. So Miss Helen Harrison Flory of Los Angeles. We have Miss Mabel Majero of Sacramento. Very beautiful. This is a side photo, but it just shows the striking beauty of the side face. As I told you, a lot of the judges were sculptors and artists, so they really were looking at the facial structure. Miss A.C. Did she want to remain anonymous in some sort? Of Salinas. Now this one is beautiful. I don't know if that's just like the printing or if that's a mole, but absolutely stunning. We have Mrs. Geo Evelyn Myrtle Willows. Now this one reminds me of, okay, I've just been listening to this podcast and I think it's really crazy. What was her name? Belle Gunness, right? I'm not good with making similar comparisons, but she makes me think of a strong, hardy woman such as Belle Gunness. If you guys know Belle Gunness, please comment because I thought that story was insane. One of my best friends, Nick, told me to listen to this podcast called Last Podcast on Left, and I absolutely loved it. Anyways, but her name, no offense, Miss Harry L. Spillman of Oakland. Another beautiful woman, Miss Lorraine M. Olivia of San Francisco, and Miss Marie Frund of San Francisco again. What a beautiful hat. Is that like a hat with like fruits on it and everything? That is too cool. I don't know what that is, but judging from what I can see. Miss Tina Hansen of Hayward. Wow. That's a beautiful gown, and I don't know what it is. This pose is so sultry. I just love it so much. And let's see, the biggest photo they have is Miss Irene Marie Glennon of San Rafael. So that is a huge photo. This must be what they're going for. You can't see too much, but I can tell from her hair. I think my brightness is all the way up, yeah. It looks like she has little buns. So this is really cool. So here is the first group. And let me tell you, they get even more beautiful. This is just the first. But I wanted to show these photos. And I also wanted to read this portion here. So let me zoom in. I have to be really careful or else the page changes. Herewith the Sunday Call presents the first contestants in its prize competition, which is to discover the most beautiful woman in California. Let me take some coffee. These photographs are selected from among the first pictures sent to the beauty editor by the admiring friends of the charming women they represent. The Sunday Call is pleased and honored in presenting these photographs. They come from several parts of California and all are beautiful. Look at them and you will agree. What relative rank the beauty of these takes is for the judges of contest to say. The reader should study each face carefully in order that he may be able to form his or her own opinion after having viewed the photos to be published in the Sunday magazine on succeeding Sundays. Californians are showing a due pride in the beauty of the women of the state, and it will not be their fault if the woman chosen to represent the beauty of California in the eyes of the world is not the most beautiful woman in California. In every mail, the photographs are arriving, and each, when opened, reveals a new vision of loveliness. This is a great contest and has hardly begun. Ain't that right? We still got a lot to go through. Chicago chose its beauty from 6,000. Surely California can do as well. In all California, there are many more women than that whose personal beauty qualifies them for this contest. Every city, every town, all the mountains and valleys of California are filled with beautiful women. The beauty editor wants a photograph of every one of these before the contest closes. So they wanted to make sure they had the hottest in California. They wanted that hot shit to be up front and on the cover of the newspapers so that the world would know California has the most beautiful women and will bring up front the most beautiful woman. Chicago chose its most beautiful woman and set her up as the most beautiful woman in America. California will not let such a challenge go untaken. California has asserted that it can produce a more beautiful woman, and now it remains merely to choose from among the galaxy. Men fight and die for beautiful women. To men, there is nothing on earth so interesting as beautiful women. No real man ever reaches a stage in life where he is no longer interested in beautiful women. The Sunday Call will publish the photographs of the most beautiful women in California, beginning with this page, and does not hesitate to proclaim them in advance as the most beautiful women in the world. Beauty knows no other gauge than itself. It can be measured by nothing. It is a God-given quality, and it is worthy of the place it has had and the part it has played in human affairs. But in order to give the contest an added zest on the Sunday Call, and they go through the prizes again. In the news section of the Call today, further matter of interest about the Great Beauty Contest will be found. Now here is the second installment a week later in the Sunday Call's Great Beauty Contest. And wow, these images are just stunning. We have Miss Stella Arnold of Stockton on the map, baby. Look at this beautiful woman here. I just love this pose. I honestly love all of them. They just look so mysterious. You know, she's not giving you eye contact, but you just want her to look so bad. And it's just, I don't know what it is about it. We have Miss Bessie A. Christie of Concord. Let's go left to right, shall we? Oh, let me PDF it one more time. Miss Rose Rogers of San Francisco. Miss Winifred Kenyon of San Jose. Both of them gorgeous. Miss Lillian Barrington of Oakland. Now that is a great photograph. I think that is really nice, showing her face, showing her body, her fashion style, her poise, everything. It looks amazing. I want to make sure my photo isn't covering any of these because I don't notice until I've posted the video. So sorry if I did, and if I did, I can upload an additional video. Miss Nielsen of Palo Alto. Very beautiful, very masculine looking and strong, which back in the day was actually very admired, which I loved. Miss Ruby B. Tarr of San Francisco. She's got a little smirk. I love that. She's got some pizzazz, and I think that's very attractive. Miss Jess Thornton of New Hope. Very stunning. I love the hat. She's got a little bit of a mysterious smirk herself. Miss Maud Campbell of San Jose. I love this pose, and that chair is just so amazing and intricate in the back. She looks of royalty of some sort, which is exciting. And I went over Miss Bessie Christie. Okay, I want to make sure I got them all. So let me zoom out a little bit. Again, this is the second installment of photographs. And I'll go ahead and read this portion here. Zoom in. Is that all I can go? Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is good. Today, the Sunday Call presents the second page of photographs in the Great Beauty Contest. Someone once truthfully said that variety was the spice of life. And that variety is the spice of this famous contest. There is no denying. The difference in the numerous pictures that come daily to the beauty editor's desk is truly amazing. The photographs represent all types, all styles, all characters. Ain't that the truth? All colorings from the most piquant and winsome of dark-eyed maidens to her statelier sister, the blonde. Anyone who could take a quick peep into the big box which holds the beauty photos and not turn away bewildered by the riotous profusion of charms that would meet his eye must be made of adamant and entirely lacking in appreciation of the genuine article. There are types of beauty in that box which, if seen on the dramatic or vaudeville stage, would draw crowded houses and cause rival managers to offer them their own terms. There is a dark, mysterious beauty who would make a superb Judith with Holofernes in the background. Another who needs only an asp to represent Cleopatra in her most subtle and splendid mood. Another with hair unbound and glorious, distraught eyes, her slender bosom, I love that word, garlanded with flowers, whom a famous artist has painted as the sorrowful Ophelia, and who sends in her picture in that guise. Another whose arch and charming face, shaded by a bewitching poke headgear, thrills you at first glance, takes you willing captive at the second. There are fireside beauties and beauties of the gay world. There is beauty in elegant attire and beauty in a simple gown. There are those whose points attract at a glance and others who grow upon you. I love that. There are sweet simplicity, modesty, innocence. There are splendor, surety, worldly knowledge. All sorts of descriptive loveliness are entered in this contest. The owners of it have entered the race for various reasons. Some for excitement, some for pleasure, some for interest, some for the prizes offered, some from sheer curiosity. Many have been entered by their friends. Above all, beautiful women are willing to enter the contest for the honor of the state. Here is something which women, and women alone, can do. Something which will rebound to their credit after long years have passed. Because let's be honest, what were women doing in 1907? This was most likely the highlight of that year. Their life, pretty much. Something which their grandchildren playing around them one day may listen to the tale of and be proud that one of their race and blood had been accounted by competent judges, the most beautiful woman in California, perhaps in America. There is no doubt that the California maids and matrons feel the glorious thrill of the challenge that the Sunday Call has issued to Chicago and the glory of the conquest that is to be. They are determined that the supremacy of California shall not be lost, that her glory shall not be dimmed, and that the palm in this contest of female loveliness shall be awarded to California and to California alone. They are proving their zeal by their quick response, for they know that California can send out many challenges of this sort to any state in the Union, win them all, and yet have beauty to spare. They feel this so strongly that the sending of a photograph has ceased to be a personal matter. It has become a question of the unchallenged supremacy of the state, and its women have entered the lists to win. So they are in it to win it, and they are coming in with their best photographs, and friends are talking about it. I'm sure women are over dinner talking about how to pose and get the most perfect account of themselves to submit to the newspaper, and it is just so exciting. I bet that was so fun in 1907. All right, let's move on. Now, there's another one. I wanted to go over this really quickly. I don't know if I should read it all, but there was an article that came out on March 17th that said $20 for the name of this beautiful California girl. Can you clear up the mystery that has arisen in the Sunday Call's Great Beauty Contest? And here is her photo. Now, I think someone submitted this, but they had no name, so let's go ahead and read it. I'll just go through this pretty quickly. Who can solve the mystery surrounding this beautiful woman's identity? Who is she? Where did she come from? If you know her, you are the man who sent in the photograph. It is worth your while. They're paying $20 to find out who this woman was. Of the hundreds of photographs received, this is the only one which has borne no name. The sender evidently omitted the name by accident, as he says in his letter that he had written her name on the back of the photograph, but this he had not done. It is impossible to find the sender. He says in brief, I consider this lady the most beautiful in California. She is a native daughter. Her name and address I have placed on the back of this photograph. The identity must be learned before the photo can be entered. Every effort has been made, but all have failed. The Sunday Call again offers $20. Look at the photograph and see whether you know this beautiful woman. Perhaps she lives in the southern part of the state. Perhaps you've seen her many times. The only clue the Sunday Call has is the fact that the photograph was taken by Hostler, but that fact has not yet led to the lady's name. Who is she? And again, they promote this contest and they go over it. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. But there was this photo that everyone was wanting to find out who this woman was. And again, just talking about the beauty quest, challenging Chicago and the rest of the world to know that California has the most beautiful women. So we'll go ahead and move on to the third installment. Now there's future articles that will address the last one, but here's the third installment of photos. I'm doing these in order of date. We have Miss Pearl Swanton of Santa Cruz. I love her figure. Very beautiful. Miss Ella Ottlinger. Miss Magis Ellis Ukiah. Another Hostler photo, so he was taking a lot of photos. And they also had, photographers were offered money to send in the most beautiful photographs they could take of these women, so it was all over. Miss Louise Barr of Santa Clara. Miss Mildred Lux of San Jose. Miss Alta Davis of San Francisco. Miss Mercedes Gonzalez of Port Costa. Very stunning. Miss Vosberg of San Mateo. That is a beautiful photo. I just can't get over this one. And the biggest one, Miss GRS of San Francisco. So they were really looking for these beautiful portraits. The larger ones, I wonder, because I don't know. I would want this one larger since it has the entire body and clothing. I would kind of want it in more detail, but I guess they really love these simple portraits of women. So again, they talk about beauty. Let me see if there's anything specific. They talk about what is beauty. It is a matter of form, of feature, of expression, of color, of animation, of response. Socrates called beauty a short-lived tyranny. Plato, a privilege of nature. Theophrastus, a silent fraud. Theocritus, a delightful prejudice. Carneades, royalty without force. And Aristotle affirmed that beauty was better than all the letters of recommendation in the world. And Ovid calls it a favor bestowed by the gods. Which one is your favorite of these? Let's see what else. You know what? This is really cool. I want to read this. The East Indian beauty blackens her teeth and files them to points in order to meet the strenuous demands of the East Indian taste. The swarthy charmer of Sudan hangs a ring through her nose and upper lip to win favor in the sight of man. The Egyptian maiden stains her brows, hair, and fingertips red with henna to prove her claim to the elusive world. The Chinese martyr to the royal title binds her feet till she stifled shrieks of pain to assert her right to the prerogative. I've seen clips of all of these, and it's so interesting to see different cultures and how they view beauty. These are all merely standpoints, but why dispute their claim? American standards are measured by American tastes, which speak in favor first of feature, next of expression. It is a singular fact that a man regarding a pair of splendid eyes will usually declare the possessor of them a beauty. In this he is in accord with the Frenchwoman who, discussing the possibilities of a debutante, said, "Give me beautiful eyes and I will do the rest." It is quite possible yet, if it is true that an effect of beauty can be created so perfect as to deceive those who gaze upon it. The question, vexed and apparently unanswerable, recurs with increasing force. What is beauty? Californians are answering the question to their own satisfaction. If your preference is for beauty of feature alone, classic, unchanging in its lines, you will see it among the types represented in this contest. If you confess to a weakness for beauty of expression, you will find that too. Like I pointed out, the smirks are what really got me interested. Each picture sent in has its peculiar charm, its subtlety of magnetism, but there must be one. She who will delight all eyes by showing forth the beauties of an exquisite, perfect head. For the head is, as Addison said, the most beautiful appearance as well as the highest station in a human figure. Nature has laid out all her art in the beautifying the face. She has touched it with vermilion, planted it in a double row of ivory, made it the seat of smiles and blushes, lighted it up and enlivened it with the brightness of the eyes, given it airs and graces that cannot be described, and surrounded it with such a shade of flowing hair as sets all its beauties in the most agreeable light. In short, she seems to have designed the head as the cupola to the most glorious of her works. She, even Addison, admits that beauty, the real Simon Pure article, is more or less indescribable. But Californians admit no such thing. They know a beautiful woman when they see her, and they are not going to be slow about fixing on the California beauty when she appears. She is here, the most beautiful woman in America, and she will be hailed as such when found. Send in photos. By doing so, you may win prizes, and they go on talking about postage. So let's go on to the next one. This was the third and final installment of photos that they put in the newspaper articles for people to have as examples. The next one goes on, and it talks about Miss Harriet Campbell. I think this was the one they were trying to identify, but I don't know 100% sure. Is the beautiful young San Francisco girl whose identity it was so difficult to establish in the Sunday Call's beauty contest. When Miss Campbell's photograph was published in the Sunday Call a week ago, and a reward was offered for a solution of her identity, every artist, upon looking at the photograph, immediately requested an opportunity to sketch her. When her identity was established a day or two later, she sat for Mr. Burrow for the sketch. I can give her clear-cut features and something of the expressiveness of her mouth and eyes, said Mr. Burrow before sketching her. And I can even suggest the glory of her hair, but nothing less than a watercolor could even faintly suggest her wonderful coloring. And then they go on to talk about how there's no longer a doubt. They've received so many photographs. The Sunday Call needs your aid in this big undertaking. So, was this the article, by the way? There was a crazy part next to, oh yeah, this is it. It's like 6 robbers hold up restaurant in Haight. And it's like, don't worry about the robbery though. Let's focus on the most beautiful woman in California. So I thought that was funny. It's like, let's not focus on that. Let's go ahead and just focus on this. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. California's climate produces beauty. This is another article, March 27th. So we're pushing this. Every week after week, we are pushing this. Many people have written to the Sunday Call saying they know much more beautiful women than what has been entered. Everybody thinks that his own friends are the most beautiful, of course, but allowing for this matter of taste, the Sunday Call would say to these correspondents that they should enter the photos. The Sunday Call wants their photos. Let their friends enter them. The Sunday Beauty Contest closes April 21st. And it goes on to talk about what they're looking for again and again. So we'll go ahead and just start pushing past these kind of things. Another article, it just talks about each day the city is getting a number of beautiful photographs and they're getting close to revealing the winner. So I'll just go ahead and skip this one. Now this is a 2-pager. It says, here are beauties from many California cities. Do some of them surpass Della Carson's? Is one of these the state's fairest? So here are some more photographs. I'll just go ahead and go through them fast. Miss Helen Van Syke, Miss MJP of Stockton again, This one is a really good photograph. Miss M. Olson of San Francisco. We have Miss Carrie Butler of San Francisco. Miss Charles Jones of Oakland. Beautiful necklace, beautiful hair accessories. This one is a bit sultry, huh? She went for it. Miss Anna Zetterland of Berkeley. First Berkeley, nice. Miss Florence Donovan of Petaluma. Miss Josephine Christensen of San Jose. And Miss Eleanor Chidester of Stockton. So a lot of beautiful women in Stockton. I mean, good God, this one is actually really beautiful. Miss Eleanor Chidester. I just love this photograph. And the off shoulder, wow, that's a bit daring, don't you say? Okay, is this the article? Oh no, it's gotta be the next one. Oh no. Oh, we got a lot to go through. Okay, I'm just gonna go through these quickly. Okay. So we saw these 2 pages. Again, more photos. Absolutely love the smile. We've got some flowers in the hair. A beautifully adorned, great hairstyle we've got here. And a beautiful facial structure. Again, all of these beautiful photos that we have. Oh my God, this one is just so charming. Let me move my little thumbnail so I can see this. Miss Harris of San Francisco. I just love this photo. And you don't see the curly hair down very often. So I love her personality already. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Now this one is titled Lovely Girls from All California. Through these 2 pages of California beauties appear in the Forget It number. The California beauty is something which no man having seen. Oh, let me make sure this. Let me get it right here. Okay, good thing I have this thumbnail here because my photo is covering it. Or my little portion. Geographically, all California is represented in the photograph shown. Other pages of photos will be found in the news section. Next Sunday, the Great Beauty Contest closes. So again, we have more photos of all of the women. I love this pose. We've got some little innocence poses. Oh, my head is just laying on my hands. More of them. I love this one. She's just looking off in the distance. You're not as important for her to smile at you, you know? You got to catch her attention. Miss Cornelia, I love that name. Cornelia Francis Clossier. San Diego. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So you get the picture. A lot of beautiful women. Now, there's one I wanted to talk about specifically because I just thought it was so funny. Successful ending of the great quest to find the most beautiful woman of America. I mean, I just got to say, what terrible font. I could barely read this when I first saw the article. So the last photos are coming in. Again, that masculine look was just so, everyone admired that because it showed that a woman was strong, and I loved it too. So this one here, I wanted to focus on this one. Remember how I told you guys to really point out if someone looks similar? There's this podcast I really love to listen to, and on YouTube is H3H3, and I swear this looks like Sam. This looks like Sam, Ian's girlfriend. If anyone else watches that, please comment, because I thought this was so interesting. When I first saw her, I told my girlfriend Alexis, I said, this looks just like Sam from H3. So that was interesting. It says, the great hunt for the California beauty conducted by the Sunday Call is now closed. The many hundreds of photographs of beautiful women living all over California, of course it was not possible to publish all of them, as we can see, will now be turned over by the Sunday Call to the jury chosen to say which of them is the fairest. Douglas Tilden, the sculptor, and Arthur F. Matthews and G. Cadenasso, the painters, are the distinguished artists composing this jury. The whole decision lies in their hands. Some days will be allowed the jurors for critical inspection and deliberation. If the jurors request additional photos of some of the contestants, the Sunday Call will undertake to obtain such as once. So a lot of these photos are just from the shoulders up. They're like, we want to see that figure. We want to make sure she is the fairest of them all. Name and photographs of the winners of high honors and valuable cash prizes. And I thought this was so awesome. It was posted on my birthday in 1907 before I was ever even in the picture. How cool is that? It is being impossible to get the decisions of the jury and prepare the plates in time for next Sunday's issue. Watch for the prize winners in the issue of Sunday, May 5th. So again, they're prepping it up. The winner will be announced. Let me see if this is it, because I have a little something. Again, more photos. This is such a cute photo. I love this so much. So much. We have more and more. They are in dead earnest and means to choose the most beautiful women that their judgment dictates. So again, just the same old, same old. Judges of beauty contest are busy. Decision will be announced Sunday. So it's closing out. I just loved this image. I wanted to show everyone. It's a beautiful woman sitting down, a big question mark over California. Where will they find her? Does the prize beauty of California come from your town? Read next Sunday's call. Are you the man who sent in her photograph to the beauty contest? Next Sunday's call will tell you. Do you know the most beautiful woman in California? Her photograph will be published in next Sunday's call. The judges of the Sunday's Call Great Beauty Contest are now at work, naming the winning beauties, and they will announce their decision in the Sunday Call May 5th. Let's go ahead and see. All right. Let me see if my sound effect works. It should work. You should be hearing a drum roll. Drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Story of the native daughter whose beauty now makes her famous. She is only 18 years of age. She was born in Oakland. Represent who's from Oakland. She is now studying music in London. Wow, a woman of many tastes. She cables her pleasure and delight, and her name is Miss Hazel Tharsing. This photo I just loved so much. So they requested additional photos. Here's this beautiful photograph of her face. I love the little shadow. I don't know how this looked in the original, but it looks very mysterious. And then you have one where she's super playful, you know? And then another one of the side profile. So this one I really want to take the time to read. So let's go ahead and go through it. Let me zoom in. And this says, Torrington Square, London, student colony where Miss Tharsing is staying while studying music. So they kind of show like what she's up to, what she's doing. Miss Hazel Tharsing, an 18-year-old San Francisco girl, has been declared the most beautiful woman in California. Out of the many hundreds of photographs received by the Sunday Call in its quest for the state's greatest beauty, the jury of award chooses this native daughter as the most perfect specimen of California beauty. The judges, all eminent artists of California, spent many hours in going over all the photographs received. They were Douglas Tilden, the sculptor, and Arthur F. Matthews and G. Cadenzo, the painters. They agreed unanimously on Hazel Tharsing as the winner of the first prize, judging according to the rules of art and the canons by which beauty is measured. Miss Tharsing has been in London for some months studying music and knew nothing of the distinction conferred upon her until the cable carried the news to her. She did not even know her photograph had been entered. The photograph appearing on the first page of this section is the first photograph presented to the judges. When they saw that, they asked for more poses of her. Her mother's address was known, and from her more photographs were secured. Others by Bushnell, the San Francisco photographer, also several by Arnold Genth, and others by a London photographer were obtained. Let me read this, by the way, before we move on. It says, Cablegram from Miss Tharsing, London, May 4th, 1907. Many thanks for honor conferred on me. I think you could easily have found more beautiful girls right at home. Of course, I feel tremendously flattered. Thank the judges for me. I was surprised when I got Mother's cablegram about my winning. Mother thinks I'm better looking than I am. I will send the photographs you ask for. Be sure to let the sisters at Rio Vista Convent know about this. They will be pleased. As the judges saw one view after another of Miss Tharsing, they all in unison began to point out her points of beauty, and there was no doubt further in their minds that she would win the prize and be heralded to the world as the most beautiful woman in California. The girl upon whom this unique distinction has been conferred is a tall, strong girl of perfect health. Her complexion is fair with an olive tinge. Her hair is chestnut brown with a slightly gold sheen. Her eyes are large and expressive. The breadth of her forehead and strength of the curve of her eyebrow, the power and magnetism of her beauty are shown in her chin and mouth, can best be seen in the photographs of her. One look at that face and any Californian will feel proud to know that this is a daughter of the pioneers. Hazel Tharsing was born in a house that is still standing. And again, I can't believe they put their addresses out here. At 7th and Myrtle Streets in Oakland, December 28, 1888. She was there with her mother for a short time, spent her earliest years in Yuba County, where her grandparents as well as her father lived. At the age of 8, she was brought to San Francisco, and this city has been her home since that time. A little later, her mother sent her to St. Gertrude's Academy, otherwise known as Rio Vista Convent. She remained there until graduated 2 years ago this coming June. After leaving the convent, she went to something with her mother at the Audubon Apartments at 928 Ellis Street. She remained there until taken to London by her mother and left in the care of friends to finish her musical something. Miss Tharsing now lives at 1417 Golden Gate Avenue. So they plastered her freaking address on there. Imagine the most beautiful woman in California up for grabs to all these weirdos to show up to her house and offer their hand in marriage, right? On the side of her father, Christian N. Tharsing, Miss Hazel is of Danish blood. On her mother's side, she is of English, New York, Dutch, and Alsatian blood. Her maternal grandfather and grandmother left St. Louis in 1853 as bride and groom to go out into the wilderness to make a home for themselves. They had misfortune after misfortune, having their cattle shot by Indians, and it was not until 1857 that they finally arrived in Yuba County, California. The grandmother, Miss Carolyn Gottsched, still lives at Bakersfield. Her 2 eldest children were born on the plains. Hazel Tharsing shows in her face that she comes from no weak race. She speaks well for the highest type of California beauty. The girl herself is simple in her ideas and in her life. She has been well bred by a good mother. She no doubt realizes that she is beautiful, but if she does, she regards that as a gift in which she must not take too much pride. A humble queen. The sisters in the convent must have taught her to be humble. Oh yeah. Her manner is as simple as her heart. She is always at home, wherever she goes, and although people constantly turn and stare at her, she seems unconscious. Humble brag. Her mother tells that while she was with her daughter in London, they stopped at the Sicily, one of the centers of the world. But every time this beautiful American girl came across the vast corridors, every man, woman, and child stopped and turned to see her pass. Is that true? One night before Miss Tharsing left London, one of her friends gave Miss Tharsing and Hazel a dinner at the Clarendon. The dining room was filled with people of fashion. Miss Tharsing walked down the room ahead of her daughter. She noticed people on every side nudging each other and looking at something behind her, and she too turned her head. Behind her, the object of all eyes, lied her daughter. Her daughter walked simply. This beautiful California girl is an expert boxer and fencer and takes the keenest kind of interest in all outdoor sports. Wow, she's well-rounded. She also has the distinction which sounds as if it had never been equaled in the world's history before, of having never had anything but perfect credit marks in school. Her mother says she would get up at 4 in the morning to study so that she should know her lessons perfectly, even when quite a young girl. How are we feeling about her so far? I want to know, too, if you guys think she actually is the most beautiful compared to the rest. Hazel Tharsing is a light-hearted girl, always happy and cheerful. Her whole face changes with her mood, happy, and every feature expresses it. Something happens that touches her sympathy, and she is all concern. Her voice is a deep contralto, and her mother is having it developed by the best singing teachers of London. She has no purpose of having her daughter make use of it professionally, again, humble brag, unless she feels that she has the ability to make a success, that she is leaving to the girl herself, who is still too young to worry about such matters. So again, here we go, another interview. So once again, Ms. Starsing, after hearing all of that, we can look at the photos and see if good judgment was made. Okay, let me zoom into this portion. Torrington Square is plain and stupid. 69 Torrington Square is like every other house on the street. I can hardly believe that I would find here in London the most beautiful California woman. I was shown to her apartment and waited expectantly. A tall young girl with a wonderfully beautiful face, strong and womanly, with dark eyes that enveloped me, held out a long, slender hand. She gripped me in an honest shake. Her manner was distinctly affable and approachable, but peculiarly dignified in so young a woman. There was no doubt in my mind that she was really the fairest of California women, or the fairest woman anywhere. I had never seen anyone so radiantly beautiful. I forgot Torrington Square. I forgot what I was there for. I could not speak. After a long minute, Miss Starsing said, "To whom do I owe the honor of this visit?" She spoke these courtly words in a rich, mellow voice. Did I do a good job at a rich, mellow voice? I tried to remember where I had heard that voice before. Julia Marlowe flashed into my head. Then I explained that I had come to interview the most beautiful woman in California. As I hurriedly explained the situation to her, a smile lightened her whole mobile face. "This is some of my mother's work." She laughed. "Well, what do you want me to say?" she added. "I want to interview you," I said stupidly. All the pretty girls I used to know in California must have gone a long way if they had to choose me as beauty. The fun of the situation was growing on her, and she would not take the matter seriously. "Won't you have some tea?" she went on. "I only drink it because I know that all London is doing the same thing at this time of the afternoon, and I don't like to feel out of things." "Do you take cream?" "I don't. I learned to drink it from the Chinamen at home, and I take it straight." After an hour or so afterward, I found myself walking down Torrington Square looking at the plain faces of the houses, trying to make my finstered mind remember whether this lovely American girl had asked me to call again on my own account. She had talked all the time I was there. She talked about nothing but the great Cambridge-Oxford field meet in which 3 of her American friends had won leading events. I became suddenly apprised of the fact that this field meet was the greatest event in the world, that records were broken, that I was very stupid in not having been there. "Oh, it was splendid," she said. "Those American boys did just what one expected them to do. I was wildly excited, and I came home simply covered with American flags." An older woman came in for a moment, presumably her chaperone. I did not catch her name. Other girls knocked and entered without ceremony. I think that's what that says. I inquired and learned that I was in a colony of American students, and from the succession of short visits in that hour, she must be the most popular of all the colony. She is studying German and French, but is devoting most of her time to developing her voice. I'm a big, strong girl, and if my voice proves good, I may be able to make some return to my mother for all she has done for me. Her whole face went still as she spoke of her mother. It was then I saw the full depths of her wonderful eyes. She was between me and the evening light that came in through the window. Ooh, how romantic. The gold in her dark hair lighted her face. Her face was strong lines and deep shadows. They did a really great job capturing that. I felt as if I were in the seclusion of a convent, and were an intruder. I rose to go, and she started to shake hands with me mechanically. Her mind was in San Francisco with her mother. Then she recovered her self-possession and said, "Come again. Glad to see you any time." At least I felt sure that she said that. She leaned against the door. Imagine the judges choosing me. I wonder what mother said. I wish I were at home in dear old California. So here she is, Miss Tharsing. Now, there is second and third place. If you guys want, I can make separate videos. My throat's getting a little, I'm talking for a little too long here. But I did want to put Stockton, California on the map. Miss Lenore Chidester. Is this the one that I said I love the photo of? I think it is. I didn't notice that before, but here she is. Absolutely stunning. I loved her. I can talk about these in a separate video. Just leave a comment and I can make that. But here's second and third prize. So we had Miss Lenore Chidester of Stockton and Miss Mabel Kramer of San Rafael. Second and third place. All three of them very beautiful, very deserving. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this video. It's a long one, like I said, but I absolutely love to read all of these. I think they're super interesting, and I wanted to kind of paint a picture of what they were looking for and kind of set it up for the winner. So, do you think Miss Tharsing is the most beautiful woman in California and, as they say, maybe, quite potentially, the most beautiful woman in the world? Or do you think another one of those photos, or contestants, even second and third, deserve to take first prize? Okay, everyone, well, I hope you loved this video. I will see you again very soon. I have some really cool things coming up, some articles, and I'll even be doing an ASMR. I think I'll call it Quiet Talk Tuesdays, where I'll do a short article in ASMR fashion. All right, well, thank you. If you liked this video, please feel free to subscribe and like it. It really helps my channel. And until next time, have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you find this fascinating. As I say in the beginning of each video, I feel like today is so boring. It's all the same stuff that we scroll every day. And when you're sent funny videos and your friends are like, oh, I've already seen that. I guarantee you, if you show this to someone, they have not seen it. You can ask them, hey, did you hear about the beauty contest of California in 1907? I guarantee you everyone will say no. And you can have the information to go over that. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.